Our last guest today is another one of our energetic terriers. We have many of those, so if that's what you're looking for, we're the place to come because we have lots of energetic terriers. This is Elliot, and he's about a year old. He has that great chocolate and white color. He's a very handsome guy. We have a couple of dogs that have that chocolatey look right now. So Elliot and then Draco as well. I think he kind of looks a little bit like E.T. myself. He has a very interesting look to him. He is a dog that does a lot better out of the kennel. So he's definitely one of those dogs that's going to benefit from the September promo where we're not allowing people to go see him in his kennel because he can be a little bit nervous around strangers in his kennel, and he doesn't really love the other dogs, so getting him in and out when people see that, he's a little reactive. But outside, he seems to be able to walk by the other dogs without an issue. He's much calmer and more relaxed. Even when we processed him and made him available for adoption, we noticed a big difference in our processing area with his behavior than what we were seeing in the kennel environment. So kennels are super stressful, and he's a prime example of why we're trying to see if this new way of adopting out dogs is going to be successful so that dogs like Elliot can be in the shelter for less time because people are seeing them for who they really are, not for how stressed they are in their kennels. He, again, is a 1-year-old dog, definitely still has some manners to work on, and he needs somebody to kind of harness his goofy energy, because he has a lot of it. I know that you saw some of that bringing him in today. He's calmed down in this environment, but out there he can be a little bit of a handful, but a fun dog and a dog that will hopefully be a good addition to the right family. He really does need the right family.
So did Elliot arrive at the shelter as a stray or a previously owned dog?
He was a stray, and he is a dog that, unlike a lot of the other dogs that we have right now, he does have a little bit more extensive restrictions. Elliot is something that we refer to as head shy. So with people he's comfortable with, he doesn't really mind if you kind of touch over his head and things like that. But with strangers, he really doesn't like that. And so that's a way if people are constantly reaching over the head, we don't want him to bite someone. Also, he can be very intense about his food. We see that with a lot of the stray dogs. They don't know necessarily where their next meal is coming from. So when they see food, they got to gobble it. They don't want anybody to take it from them because that's just like a survival instinct. And then also, he doesn't love the other dogs. So he's probably, not going to be a great multi-dog home dog. But because of his reaction to some of the other dogs and how excited he is about food and not really wanting his head touched, we are looking for homes with teenagers or adults. We don't want him to go to a home with younger kids who may not be able to understand the right ways to interact with Elliot and to kind of make sure that he's going to be showing the best version of himself. So unlike a lot of the other dogs on the show today who, as long as they're not really tiny kids or any kid or, any age is fine. Elliot does have that restriction of where we're really looking for, again, teenagers and up. And because he is very dog selective, some dogs he doesn't care about, other dogs he is really not fond of, probably would do best as an only dog. But still, that doesn't mean that he's not going to be a great pet. As you can see, super affectionate, playful, not great at the treat catching thing, but has a lot of potential. Just needs that right family to work with him. If you think that you are the right family for Elliot, you can start the process of making him part of your household by going to visit fcac.as.me.